Hey everybody, welcome. It's Trail Theory. Tonight we are going to be looking at some first aid kits. And we do several kinds of trips. We do backpacking, we do hiking, we do car camping. Everyone typically brings a kit, or between all of us we bring a kit. We wanted to go through a couple options that are on the market and then show off kind of the things that we bring.
Yeah.
And kind of a homemade sort of slap together kit that Brian
Slap
has.
together? How dare you, sir?
We'll see how it stacks up against the market. So
We will see.
One of the this is unopened, pristine condition. It's been in my pack for like 3 trips. I haven't had the need to open it yet.
Yeah, because
this is
we're
one,
using mine.
Well, yeah. Well, you know, he's the medic apparently on the trips. You'll see these in REI or anywhere that they sell hiking equipment, but it's the ultralight watertight medical kit 0.3, but for one person, multiple use, and it's got your standard stuff, but I've actually never opened it.
Now.
So we're gonna.
You don't remember how much those things cost?
I don't actually. We can maybe throw it in
Right
afterwards.
here. Boom.
Somewhere.
It costs this much.
Oh.
Oh,
And
wow. Oh, so you know what? Oh, this is going to be interesting.
So,
I do have some of
downside
these
already.
things in my kit already just seen.
and I'm already seeing it downside.
Oh, interesting.
So the watertight kit is nice, but it's not organized in any kind of way.
What makes
So-
it watertight? Just because it's got a
just-
resealable zipper?
Yeah, and it's that hard plastic. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be.
It does seal well though.
Yeah.
Like sometimes these zippers, after you open them up, they never like push back in very well. So this one does a good job.
It does. It would stay dry.
Yeah.
But when we're looking at what we got, first off, and when we get into this, you'll see a big difference.
Which is like car camping.
Right. And nothing's organized in here, so if you're going to use it, you kind of dump everything out onto the floor, and then you kind of got to go through it.
So in an emergency,
Yes. So this is definitely a
frantic panic.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
and
kinda what mine's gonna
an
be,
oh
too.
shit kind of got to get in here, but it's going to have your sterile dressings. Have we ever needed a safety pin?
Interesting that they put safety pins in there.
3 of them.
Huh.
No one's wearing diapers. But
well.
if you're wrapping bandages, you're gonna have safety pins.
I guess.
But no, you got safety pins. You've got medical tape. You have sterile bandages, gauze, and what do we got? Antibiotic ointments.
Yeah.
Antiseptic towelettes.
Yep.
And there's I saw on the packaging. There's one in here. It's like a bite treatment thing.
The sting relief pad.
Is that it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that I hadn't seen in some of the other ones, but if you get bites, stings, they've got
And then alcohol pads.
treatment for that. And then what I don't see, I thought there'd be like an ace bandage or something in here, but there's not. And then you've got a patch of moleskin.
Moleskin, yeah.
For blisters,
That's nice to have.
which they actually are perforated, so
Yeah.
you can get. It's not a ton. If you get a lot of blisters, this might not be enough. But
I would say if you're getting blisters and you know you're getting blisters, you should be prepared to
Bring
have things for that specifically. Don't just rely on your first aid kit to give you the things that you need for that.
bring KT tape. Too.
Yeah.
That's the best stuff.
Yeah.
And then some tweezers here. So I think I'm seeing this as very much a have it in your pack like I do, just
Mm-hmm.
in case truly an emergency of you, and maybe even bring other stuff. Like I would bring probably a roll of KT tape in addition to this separate.
Are there just regular band-aids in here?
There's
There's a little bit of a steri strip, or steri strip, is that what they call them?
Are those the ones that hold the
Kinda, yeah. So like little
closures?
butterfly,
Yeah.
little butterfly guys,
But outside of that, there's no regular
like regular band-aids.
band-aids.
Interesting.
Very. So this will get the job done if you, especially I think more for like cuts and scrapes and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And blisters, obviously. So it will.
So
get the
nothing
job done.
crazy serious.
Nothing crazy. And if you're going on a short trip, something happens, this will probably do you pretty well.
Yeah.
One thing I bring in addition to it, which is a little bit maybe overkill until something bad happens,
Well,
is a tourniquet.
Mm-hmm.
So this doesn't come in this particular kit, but I've always brought this. I've never had to use it, thank God. But in the event that you do have a serious puncture or you're potentially bleeding out, learn how to use a tourniquet and have one, or learn how to do a makeshift one on the trail. So we can compare that, I think, to something that's a little bit more bulk.
well, do we want to maybe go through, because this is what you bring on the trail.
Yes.
This is what we would do maybe for like a car camping thing. So something like maybe what I bring
Yeah.
versus what that might be.
Yeah.
Just in comparison between the two. So I love that it's like a full kit. You put it in your bag and it's in there until you need it. I went through and like pieced apart everything that I thought I would need for the trip. and I just put it in a little Ziploc bag. So this bag does seal up really well, which is nice. So I'm not super nervous about it getting wet, but this does typically go into a dry bag as well. But if I dump this out, there's all kinds of stuff in here too. But I do have steri strips, which would help close just kind of like the butterflies did. Some antiseptic towels. I do have some moleskin, more antiseptic towels. And I do have a plethora of different kinds and sizes of Band-Aids.
And we were wrong. There's a ton of Band-Aids.
There are those there. Okay, right
face.
there. Okay.
Yeah,
so they just put them in a different kind of a bigger package.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
So yeah, different kinds of Band-Aids and stuff like that. We do have some alcohol wipes, and then I do have some KT tape, some different kinds. I don't have my whole plethora of KT tape, but I do have 2 different kinds that I bring with me, a small and then a large. The large is nice because you can cut with your knife, little strips if you need to, but this size came into super handy when I was on Rainier because the whole back of my foot, because I was using rental boots, both sides, I was wrapping the hell out of it. So this was lifesavers when I was up on the mountain. And then this is like for toes if I were to get blisters. I don't typically get blisters a whole lot anymore, which is super thankful. I do have a little set of tweezers.
Same thing.
So it is exactly the same thing, which is really
Identical.
nice. Tweezers are always nice and nifty to have. Let's see. We went through the Band-Aids, went through some of the alcohol wipes.
Don't forget the Pepto, if that's what that is.
I do, yeah, dude. This is in my first aid kit. Take care of your tummy. Pepto-Bismol is your friend. For those,
And if you forget it, pick it up at a gas station.
you could. The chewable
our
kinds, I do
buddies
recommend. I like that. I do have this little pill bottle. It has an assortment of medications, not just Aleve, some Advil, some
all
Tylenol.
mixed together. It's just a
It
mystery
is all
box.
mixed together. I do have some like of the pill Peptos in here too.
Pretty sure
and then
that's
I've got.
Pretty sure that's it's at least frowned upon. If
Is it?
not, you might be admitting to a crime of putting medication into another bottle that it's not intended for. But
Well, I'll mark it. We'll mark it. Only I use this, right?
I was actually kind of disappointed that this doesn't have any
Any Advil or anything?
Advil, ibuprofen,
That is
Tylenol
interesting.
or anything. Typically in medkit, you would at least have some pain relief medication.
The only other thing that I do bring that didn't have is I bring a tick key. It's lightweight, and if you get a tick in you, it's really easy to remove them with this, and it is probably one of the only safer methods of removing the tick. So, I think
have you
that's
ever
kind
gotten
of
a tick
important.
on any of the trails you've
I have.
been on? Yeah? I haven't.
Yeah. Luckily, it didn't burrow in, but I
Yeah.
had it on my stomach.
Oh, man.
And I don't know. I think it was changing. I was getting out of a base layer.
Yeah.
And I had noticed it on there. I'm like, shh.
Yeah, I've
Getting this bad boy
not
out.
had the pleasure.
Yeah. Not great. Not great. So
Yeah.
after that trip, I bought one of these. Lightweight. It's aluminum. You can put it in your kit and you're ready to go. So yeah, that's what I bring. So
Cool.
it's got some of the basic stuff. We've used it on a few occasions. I know when Mike bumped his head, we used it
Yeah.
on that.
Branch fell on his face.
Yeah, that was not great.
Yeah.
I think we used some of it when Austin ended up getting hurt a little bit too on Manistee.
Mm-hmm.
So it comes in handy. Definitely recommend at least a few people on the trip bringing a kit.
Yeah.
So,
And so this cuts, scrapes, blisters,
yep.
mild things like that, pretty much taken care of
Yeah.
with either of these options. Really quick, this I glanced through. This is Alex's actually.
Car camping.
It's not actually intended for car camping.
No.
It is.
Did
It
you
is.
bring
It is
I mean,
meant
it's
for
quite.
hiking.
It is quite heavy.
Right, it's more beefy than this one, but it is still technically a hiking.
Nor would I ever bring the bag it comes in. I think
Well,
to save weight.
I disagree. So
Really?
because it's not that heavy.
We disagree.
And on the inside, if you guys can see,
It's pretty heavy.
Yeah, but it's organized.
It is organized.
This was just, and yours too, is just like,
Yeah.
dump out, good luck.
Right.
Right. And so this, I did kind of appreciate,
That is
depending
nice.
on what you're going for. If you do have blister care,
Did
They
they get
did-
did you get a close up of that? Like that is pretty nice.
Yeah.
I will say that is good.
so you can put your meds, you can put your cuts, and then for this actually does have, so Stop Bleeding Fast, they're gonna have like the compresses and
Mm-hmm.
the gauze and the bandages, they're going to be there for the more major bleeder type things.
Yeah.
And the gloves, which this didn't have a sterile glove.
That is a good idea, and I will say I do typically have it, and if I go off,
Yeah.
I do bring a set of gloves.
Yeah.
Along with some Neosporin sometimes too. So that is a good idea.
If I was choosing based on what's in it and how it's set up, I wouldn't actually mind carrying this. If I had to use it, it's a lot easier to use.
Sure.
And it's got the medications in it. It's got everything else. And I bring a tourniquet still.
Yeah.
But when you just want to have something on you, any of these are great. These are really cheap. Again, we'll throw the price up, and they've got beefier versions of these as well that go for longer. And I'm sure they've got beefier versions of that. So,
for sure.
Depends on the length of the trip and what you might run into, but bring something. Have something on you so you can treat the minor stuff. And yeah, I think that's it. I might switch to that. Alex,
I'd be curious to
might take
see
that
what the
from-
difference is in weight. I mean, I guess now that I'm picking them up, I mean, it's definitely heavier for sure.
Right, but it's got more stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how many pills you got in that thing, but.
It's packed full. It's packed full.
All right, guys. Well, hopefully this helps a bit when you're choosing what to bring on the trail. Make sure you stay safe.
Yes, please.
And be prepared for anything that's going to happen out there.
We'll see you guys next time.
See ya.